What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? I hope that you guys are doing good. I'm having a great day. It's been a great month, actually. It's been one of the wildest months ever. So, we're on here to talk about addiction and recovery and how to get through that because I'm 2.5 years into no alcohol and over 5 years into no hard drugs now. So we're going to break this down the best that I can with my own experience, and I'll give you guys some advice. I like to hop on here and do this from time to time with a longer video, just talking because I know that it can help a lot of people out. So, I first want to thank everybody that's shown love on the channel over the last couple of years, and especially the last few months. We've really started to grow a lot more and try new things, challenge ourselves more, and especially in the last month and a half ish, I've especially been striving for doing that more. So I want to thank you guys for all of the support, and I want to thank everybody who's new, those of you who are newer and just joining us. Thank you for joining the party. I hope that you can find some inspiration. I hope you enjoy the art, and I hope you enjoy the music and the reaction videos and everything. Let's talk about addiction. So, for me, it was really hard. I failed a lot of times. I fucked up a lot of times. I tried probably 10 times in rehabs at least, and then I tried at least over 100 times by myself, which those would be like failed attempts that lasted a day at home or whatever, that sort of thing. Um, Recovery is really different for everybody. Like it depends on the person. Like some people are able to still take medications, over the counter kind of stuff. Some people are still able to smoke, that kind of stuff. It depends on the person. Like some people, that stuff helps. I'm one of those people. I don't recommend it. Like going into sobriety, I wouldn't recommend doing anything for at least a little bit, right? I wouldn't recommend trying anything for at least a little bit when it comes to medicinal marijuana and stuff like that, right? So for me, that works. That's what I like to do, but I wouldn't recommend it for a lot of people because for a lot of people that's a bad trigger. So we'll start there because that's a big thing now is like people implementing medicinal smoking into their recovery. So I would say base that on your personality after you've already been sober from everything for at least over a month, a little bit, somewhere around the bouts there. Gauge it like that. Whenever you are going through the first few months, you're going to realize mostly that you were a fucking asshole, to be completely honest. That's going to be the first realization you're going to come to, is that you were a major jerk for most of your addiction. So you have to come to terms with that. You have to hold yourself accountable and work on those parts of your personality that caused those crazy situations to happen, that caused you to lose people that you valued or that valued you, one or the other, or both. Hopefully, both. Hopefully, the relationships in your life were at least valued on both sides. Inside of addiction, that's not something that you get very often because let's face it, most addicts are just using each other to get their next fix and they're not really truly friends with each other. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to go through that. You're going to have to deal with all of those emotional things that are going to pop up, and you're going to realize you were wrong in a lot of instances. You're going to want to mend ties with people. Sometimes that's possible, sometimes it's not. It really just depends on the person, and it depends on the level of severity in the situations that y'all encountered together as well. So you got to factor that in as well. Once you start heading into a year is where it gets weird because you're either gonna you're either going to go through this really crazy time where you want to do your drug of choice and you want to drink or whatever it is all the fucking time, or you're going to start going through an extremely massive spiritual awakening that's going to blow your fucking brain out of everything it ever thought it knew. So, By 1 year, you'll be arriving to one of those points. You'll get to the spiritual awakening part no matter what, but sometimes people gotta go through the ruckus of fucking wanting to relapse for an entire half of a year. So there's that. That's fucking rough. I didn't personally really go through that. There were times where occasionally I would think about drinking and it would sit there in my head and I would just let it be there. Like I would just let it exist. I would be like, well, you're just a thought and you only have any power if I act on you, so we'll just let you sit there. That's how I handled it. Some people might need to talk to a therapist. Some people might need to go to AA meetings and hang out with somebody to talk to there. Whatever works for you, man. You got to do what's best for you. I'm just here to vouch for my own experience and inspire you to also do it for yourself. So you're going to arrive to the spiritual awakening point at some point of this, and your brain's just going to fucking explode. And you're going to start seeing all kinds of things in the world differently. You're going to start feeling emotions differently. You're going to feel empathy a lot more strongly. You're going to fucking see the badness in the world a lot more than when you were under the fucking veil of substances. There are certain substances people do to like wake themselves up, like the psychedelics and shit, in moderation. And those are also medicinal as well for like depression and stuff like that, and micro doses and everything. So those things depend on the setting and the usage of them. They can drive a person mad or they can enlighten a person. I wouldn't recommend doing it all the time when it comes to those things if you're somebody who manages yourself well and partakes in those things. Obviously, the addicts, I wouldn't recommend y'all touch anything except for maybe some medicinal marijuana if you have a prescription for that and you can get it for yourself and everything, and you got a genuine use for it that helps you out in your recovery, then I would say apply it there. Psychedelics for the depression, like the mushrooms and stuff that they use, I would say if you're doing it in a doctor setting, it could be a safe thing to do, but it also might trigger the relapse qualities even years into recovery. So that's a risky thing right there that you would have to decide for yourself when it comes to those kinds of things, getting deeper into recovery. Because I'm 2.5 years in now and I don't have any interest in drinking alcohol. I remember what it felt like, and I remember that it felt like shit. And I remember that I don't feel like shit now. So that's basically where I sit with it at this point. It's it was very difficult in the beginning. Like I said, there's a lot of things that you got to go through emotionally. I also had like outside circumstances going on around me while running a YouTube channel and getting a bunch of attention and comments and fucking talking to a bunch of people every day. I had some stuff going on, uh, personal stuff. I'm not going to throw anything under the bus or mention names or anything like that because those things blow over and eventually your life moves on. You guys will make up with each other and you guys will eventually understand the things that you've been through. So I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus over that kind of shit. It's a little ridiculous that it all happened in the first place, but we ain't here to mention names and tear people down. That's not what we're here for. So sometimes you'll go through that, like even outside circumstances and people, situations around you will fucking be driving you crazy, and you're like, how the fuck am I supposed to deal with all of this stupidness without substances and shit? You just do it, man. You just get up and you do it. It's that easy. Find a hobby, find something you love to do. For me, it's getting on here, rambling to people, making reaction videos, making my own music, meeting fun people, inspiring them, talking to them about recovery or talking to them about their own problems in life, whatever it is. You got to find that outlet. You got to find that way to put that energy somewhere else whenever the darkness or the inner turmoil starts to linger, right? Because addiction will always leave you with that for the rest of your life. You'll always have that darkness inside of your personality from it, the experience of it, but your job is to be the light inside of it and to give it to other people too. And that's why I get on here with you. I love you guys. I know that I pretty much, those of you that have been on the channel, I said a lot of things I've already said about addiction. But for anybody that's new and newer to seeing my videos, I hope this could help you, man. I do stuff like this occasionally. I make other videos, so check out the channel. We motivate people on here. Unless you guys know. Those of you that are here know. Yapping Yatum, right? I love you guys. We gonna get out of here. I appreciate you. Those of y'all that are new, like I said, I hope this could help you and inspire you a little bit to know that you're not alone and that you can get through all the crazy stuff that's gonna come when you get sober, especially a spiritual awakening. Make the best of that. You can learn a lot about yourself through one of those. I love it. I'll probably talk about that a little later on, actually, more in depth. I have to think through that one. That's a lot to fucking unpack. So we might get there eventually sometime this year. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hope this could help some people. Never give up. Get sober. Go get help. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And go help other people after you've changed yourself. That's my best advice to you. Do the things you love. I love you guys. We out of here. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.